Hi, and welcome to Storytime Science at the Exploratorium. My name is Viv, and this is the math episode. We're going to be reading this book, The Cookie Fiasco, by Dan Santat, and then we're going to be doing an activity where we turn a greeting card into a little gift box that has a top and a bottom to it. So let's get reading. The Cookie Fiasco. This is a very exciting book about 4 very hungry friends, but only 3 cookies. And it's by Dan Santat. But this is an Elephant and Piggy book. Elephant and Piggy do the introduction, and Elephant and Piggy are created by Mo Willem. And Mo writes a little introduction to you, the reader. Dear reader, it is so cool that you like to read. Elephant and Piggy like to read too, so I thought I would share some of their favorite books with you. The Cookie Fiasco is about 4 friends with 3 cookies and 1 big problem. I hope you enjoy this story as much as Elephant and Piggy do. Your pal, Mo. I want to read this funny book. Me too. But how can the 2 of us read this one book? We can read it together. That is one great idea. Hey guys, cookie time!
Uh-oh. Hold on, there are 3 cookies, but 4 of us. Someone will not get a cookie. That is not fair. We need equal cookies for all.
I have an idea. Maybe you 2 can share 1 cookie.
What? We do not share cookies. We do not share a lot of things. Well, I am wearing her socks. I heard crocodiles do not like cookies. Maybe you should not get a cookie. Huh? I eat cookies. I love cookies. I could eat a whole plate right now.
Or we can share by our size.
That's a great idea. Wait, you're huge. You would get all the cookies.
Oh, really?
Gasp. Do you hear something?
And it looks like Purple Hippo is snapping all the cookies into pieces.
Hippo, what are you doing?
I break things when I am nervous. Sorry.
Stop that. Show us the cookies. You are making things worse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now there are 6 cookie pieces, but only 4 of us. This is not good. This is not fair. This is not equal.
My nerves.
We have to solve this problem fast. Our friendship depends on it. We need equal cookies. cookies for all.
Oh no! Purple Hippo is still snapping all the cookie pieces into more cookie pieces.
Stop! The pieces are getting smaller. They will be crumbs soon. We will have to eat cookie crumbs. This is a flop, a mess, a disaster. It is a fiasco.
But Purple Hippo keeps on snapping cookie pieces. Snap, 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 snap. No, sorry, I cannot stop.
It is what he does. He broke all the pieces again. Why is he still holding the cookies? I am too afraid to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now there are 12 cookie pieces, but still only 4 of us.
Get these cookies away from me, please.
Oh boy.
Guys, take one at a time.
I have 3 pieces. Me too. Me too.
1, 2, 3, me too. We did it. Equal cookies for all.
Munch, 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 munch. Hey guys, milk time. I have 3 glasses.
Uh-oh. And now your hosts, Elephant and Piggy.
That was a fun book.
But now I am hungry for a cookie. Now I am thirsty for milk. This book makes me hungry and thirsty. Good books make me feel big things. All right, now to our math activity. And you know, math is not just numbers. Math is also shapes, and math is measuring. We're going to be using a ruler. So we are going to take a greeting card. This is a birthday card. I save all of my greeting cards. Handy because then I can use them later on. We're going to turn a greeting card like a birthday card. This one says OMG cake on it, into a little box that's like a gift box with a top and a bottom. And we're just going to do that by measuring, cutting, and folding. Here's another one. This was also probably a birthday card because look, there's a little cake with candles on the lid. Now the thing is, you want a greeting card that's not a square shape. You want it more of a rectangle shape, a little bit taller than it is wide. And also you don't want a card that's too thick and glossy. It doesn't have a really shiny finish because you're going to be folding it and you want it to be easier to fold. So this has a not very shiny finish to it. Let me start with this OMG cake one. Now, on the crease of the card, I'm just going to be, with my fingernail, really running it along the crease because I want to tear this card into 2 equal halves really, really easily. All right, so I'm going to go back and forth, and I am just pressing my fingernail across the crease. I don't want to cut it with scissors because I might go off a little bit, and I want these to be completely even. So now that I've creased it, I'm just going to tear it into 2 equal pieces. Now I have the bottom of my box and the top of my box. So the next thing you want to do is find the center of this rectangle and the center of this rectangle. And you don't have to measure. This is a cool little trick that you can do, a little math trick. I'm going to take a ruler, and I am going to go from this point right there to this point right there with the ruler. And normally I would do this with a pencil, but so that you can see it better, I'm going to do it with a black marking pen. And you want to be as exact as you possibly can be. I will draw this and I will show it to you. And this is a great way to find the center of a rectangle or even of a square. And then again from one corner to the other corner, and you want the edge of that ruler right up against the points of the card. So there you have the X. And you want to do that on both halves of the card. So now I'm going to do the same thing, corner to corner again. Black marking pen is probably too dark for when you do this for real. I'm just doing it in black marker so that you can see it better. And where these two corner to corner lines cross is the exact center of this rectangle. We didn't have to measure, we just had to draw straight lines, and that is the exact center of this rectangle, this half of the card. Now, because we want the top of our box to be ever so slightly bigger than the bottom of our box, and we also want to make sure that the design is on the outside, we want to watch out for a couple of things. We're going to start the folding part. So I am going to make 4 folds on this card. This is going to be the bottom of my box. And I am going to fold this side, exactly up to that point in the middle. Exactly to that point in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. I am going to make a fold exactly up to, I want to make sure I fold it nice and straight, exactly up to that center crisscross point. All right, now I'm going to unfold those, but you can still see the crease lines. And I'm going to go to this side and that side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold up exactly to that center point. And I want to make sure that I fold evenly. I'm going to go ahead and do it for both sides, and then I'll hold it up for you to see. Always making sure that you run your fingers on the crease so the crease is nice and tight. And so now you can see your fold lines because I folded it this way and I folded it this way. This is going to be the bottom of the box, so I folded it exactly up to this point. The bottom of the box is going to be a little bit smaller than the top of the box. So now I see where these creases are, and I'm going to make 4 cuts. I'm going to not cut anything off. I'm just going to cut a straight line from the edge exactly where this crease is. From this edge right up to the black line, then here from this edge right up to that black line along the crease, and then the same thing on the other side. From the edge right up to the black line along the crease, and from the edge right up to the black line along the crease. Now I'm going to cut and stop right at the black line. I am cutting along the crease, stopping at the black line, and I'm cutting this way, not this way. And let me do these 2 here. And then I'll hold it up for you to see. Where's my crease? There's my crease. So now I have 2 cuts here and 2 cuts there. Okay, now I'm going to fold. And we take these 2 little flaps, and I'm going to go on the inside. Ooh, you can see it's already starting to look like a box. And I'm going to fold those in, and then there's a little bit of the top of this edge here, and I'm going to fold that over. The cool thing about these boxes is you don't need tape or glue. they will hold themselves together. So I will go ahead and fold that in, making a nice tight crease, and then I will point it toward you again so that you can see very closely what I have done. So again, this extra little flap, I just folded it down, and that secures the two little side pieces in place. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Again, these two get folded on the inside, and I fold it over the top here. So here is your box bottom, ready to go. Now I want to make the box top. And I want to make the box top a little bit bigger. So that means that this area inside this rectangle has to be a little bit bigger than the rectangle for the bottom. So when I make those 4 folds, I'm not going to fold all the way to the point in the middle. I'm going to fold each side just short of the little point in the middle. So let me do the first one. And you can see I didn't fold quite up to that little point right in the center where the 2 lines cross. I stopped just short of that because I want the area of the top to be bigger. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So now you will see a little bit of a gap between the 2 folds. There wasn't a gap when I folded the sides of the bottom, but now you can see there is a gap in between. And once again, those folds, I made sure they were creased really well. I'm going to do the same thing, fold it from the top and fold it from the bottom. And again, I am not going to fold all the way to that point in the center. I'm going to fold it just short of that point in the center. And by the way, you want to make sure that the cool picture, like in this case, the cake, and it looks like a chocolate cake too, is on the outside. That's what's going to be your box top. So I'm going to fold just short of that crisscross point right in the center, creasing it really, really nice and tightly, and I fold just short. And once again, you can see there's a little gap in the center. And now I'm going to do the same thing and make those little cuts. And again, I have the rectangular top here, the half of the card, and I'm not going to cut in this side. I'm going to make a cut from the edge of the paper right up to the black line. The same thing right along the crease from the edge of right here to that black line. And then the same thing there, right along the crease, and there, right along the crease. So again, 4 cuts, and double check my creases. Good, and I stop right at the black line, and I'll show you once again in a sec after I finished making my 4 cuts. And this box top should be just slightly bigger than the box bottom so that it'll fit on the top. So here you go, the box top, and you have the cut there, and the cut there and there. And now I'm going to do the same folding where I take these 2 flaps and I fold on the inside. And this extra little piece on top, ooh, my fingers are in the way. This little extra piece on top is going to get folded over to hold these 2 side pieces in place. And I'm going to do that at both ends. So make sure that's there. Let me try and do this in mid-air. It might be a little bit easier. And a nice tight fold. Ooh. And there, and there. And then fold this on top. And there's your box top. Oh, the cake is upside down. it's an upside, it would have to be a pineapple cake if it were an upside down cake. So there it is, right side up. There's your box top. And now we're going to see if it fits on the box bottom. We want it to be a nice snug fit. It does. It fits exactly. There is your little OMG cake little box. Now, you could bake a teeny tiny cake and put it inside the box and give it as a gift to somebody. Or, you know, you could find a really nice flower. In other words, you've made a gift box. Maybe you should give somebody a gift. Maybe a nice piece of silver jewelry, or, you know, a little drawing that you made. This box is so handy because you don't need any glue, you don't need any tape. All you did was trace, cut, and fold, and it holds together, and it's a really nice decorated box. And this way, it's a nice way to use all of those bazillion birthday cards maybe you got, or greeting cards that you got. And just make sure you always put the drawing, the picture that you want on the outside. You could even, if you didn't have any leftover cards, you could even use a couple of index cards, because those are usually not square, they're rectangular. And remember, you want rectangular cards for this. And you could then do a drawing on some index cards. And just remember, make the box bottom a little bit smaller than the box top, and it fits perfectly. This is using math to make something really, really handy and cool looking and very practical. Now it's time for Poetry Corner, and I have two poems about math. I don't know the authors of either of these poems, but that's okay, we can still enjoy them. The first one is called Numbers, Numbers. Numbers, numbers, everywhere I look. Numbers in the grocery store and in my science book. Price tags, speed limits, calendars, and walls. In the cafeteria and even in the halls. Numbers on my shoes and shirt and on my cereal box. Numbers on the TV and on my alarm clock. Numbers, numbers everywhere, at my home and school. Numbers everywhere I look. Numbers are so cool. And the second poem is called Math About Me. Numbers, numbers all around, everywhere they can be found. Numbers tell how old I am and how many people in my fam. How much I weigh and just how tall, where I live, and that's not all. Numbers are a part of me, money, time, and history. When to wake up and when to eat, what size shoes to buy for my feet, how much money something costs, a number to call if my dog gets lost. I don't know where I would be if numbers weren't a part of me.